Well, welcome back, dudes and dudettes, to I'm the Dude Games. It's been a minute. It's been about a year, actually, since Reaper and I did our last Let's Play. So, yeah, you see that there? You see that? You see that? Good. Shh. Right there. We're going to be unboxing the God of War Ragnarok Jotnar Collector's Edition, showcasing everything that comes with this highly anticipated, gorgeous game that Reaper and I have been waiting, a long time for. We meant to upload more games over the course of 2022, but life and other things took precedence, but we're eagerly looking forward to starting our Let's Play and uploading Ragnarok as soon as we possibly can. So, without further ado, I'm going to do an unboxing, and then afterwards, I'm going to not necessarily do a review of the product itself, but I'm going to touch on a few topics that have been kind of bothering me regarding Sony products, but we're going to get into that after the unboxing. So without further ado, let's unbox this son of a bitch. I have to push this out on its side here. Alright. Set that down over there. Ooh, baby. She is big. It's a big box. I think it's a bigger box, if not as big of a box as the 2018 Collector's Edition. So, I'm going to remove the top here. Going to take the top off. So, right here, the very top center, is the Steelbook display case. And I want to point something out here that's going to be brought up later in the video. There's no physical disc in the Steelbook display case, whereas the last time there was. However, don't have to worry. There are the digital voucher codes for the bonus DLC content and the digital copy of the game itself in the display case. Luckily, mine actually came with it. So, let's set that back in there. And then on the top left side, my left, we have the two Vanir twin statue carvings, two miniatures. Very cool. And I'm assuming these other ones here. It's a little dice pouch with some. These are legit gaming dice. Like D20, 6, 8, 10. Oh, this is like a legit full gaming dice set. Oh, I picked a bad time to stop playing Magic. You know what? If I ever start playing D&D again, these are going to be the dice that I use. These are awesome. These are legit gaming dice. I love it. I thought they were just going to be like from the game, like memorabilia, but these are legit gaming dice. That is so freaking cool. Alright, let's see if there's anything underneath this. There is. Oh boy. So that's one layer. There's nothing underneath the top layer. It's got layers! Okay, here we go. Here's another cloth map of the realm like 2018 had. Cool. Oh. It's a cloth map of Yggdrasil. Of all the realms, the world's tree of Yggdrasil. So it's interesting because the last time there was a cloth map with the 2018 Collector's Edition, the Nordic writing in the top corner actually indicated a secret obtainable like weapon item hilt, I think, or just a weapon in game. So I'm wondering if this is going to reveal the same thing. We'll have to see. That's going to be awesome if it does, though. That is going to go right under the cloth map of Midgard in our room. Ooh, what is this? So we have like a Spartan shield symbol here. Another little dice pouch, but it's got a Spartan shield symbol on it. Dropnia. I don't know what this is. Little worm. So, but Dropnia ring.
No, this goes to something.
Can't imagine what.
Well, it's like springy, like a bracelet or something. That's just part of the box. Like it's just a piece of the box.
I don't know, maybe.
We got a worm.
We got.
We got a worm.
And a little vermicelli there. little vermicelli. Anyway, that's that. Garbage off to the side, and then the bear, wolf, and hawk.
I'm gonna take the wolf one.
Yeah.
They're pins.
They're pins. They got the bear, wolf, and I believe hawk pin set.
I am going to take the wolf one.
Falcon, bear, and wolf.
Yeah.
Falcon, bear, and wolf, and fire, wind pin set. And I think there should be one last thing.
Well, there's doors in the front of there.
I know.
Looks
Looks
like they pull open.
We're gonna open the gates to Valhalla, okay? Insert epic music here. So, oh, that's so cool. You gotta see this.
I can see it.
You can see it?
Yeah.
So this is like one of those Jotnar shrines. On the actual, like...
Yeah, like when they were in the cave.
Yeah.
And they were kind of seeing all the, like, their stories.
This is so flippin' cool. So what happens when we pull this down? Oh boy. So that little thing comes off, and inside the Jotnar shrine door is the vinyl. Oh, that is so... Dude, the way that they package this stuff is like a treat in and of itself. So yeah, this is a little 7-inch vinyl disc of the songs and the music from the game by Bear McCreary, hidden inside the Jotnar shrine door when you first open it. That is so flippin' cool. I love it. And the coup de grace, the real reason why we're all here, aside from playing the game. Oh my god. Ooh, we're gonna pull the big chungus out.
Hammer.
Oh my god. Oh, good lord.
Yeah, let me see. I want to take a picture of it.
Holy crap. That is legit. That is legit. Whoa. At some point I gotta get freaking like Thor's marble hammer just to like for comparison. But the biggest dick energy you will ever have. Freaking Thor's hammer from God of War Ragnarok. I think it's a 16-inch model replica of Thor's hammer from Ragnarok.
There's some weight to it, though.
It's got heft. It's got legit heft. That is insane. And the artwork, the detail is just is incredible. That is amazing. Anyone want to cosplay as Thor? Since this game's coming out, and there will be, boom, there you go. You can just hang that from your belt and be happy. Want to like have it like stand up in here. Can't really do it justice. Have it be like the crowning jewel of it. That is insanely cool. So that is the unboxing of the Jotnar Collector's Edition of God of War Ragnarok. That's the top tier Collector's Edition for this game. So I can't wait to start doing the Let's Play with Reaper. We're going to have so much fun playing this game. I can't wait to bring you videos. Now I'm going to cut to a separate little rant/review. I'll try to keep it as brief as I can, but I just want to talk briefly about my experience with buying this product, as well as a couple other things that Sony needs to work on. So we're going to cut to that right now. So this is going to be kind of the second portion of the God of War Ragnarok Jotnar Collector's Edition unboxing video, because there's an issue that I want to address, and it's related to some issues that I touched on in one of the previous unboxing videos that I did on the channel with my fiance Reaper, when we unboxed our PS5 console. And there were some issues that I touched on. First off, I want to preface everything that I'm about to say by first stating that, for me personally, I have always been rather satisfied with pretty much all Sony products that I've ever purchased. I've rarely ever been disappointed by their customer service and the quality of their products. I've owned a Sony console, every generation of Sony console, at least once throughout my entire life. The only Sony console that I've never owned is the PS Vita. That's the only one I've never owned. But I've been a Sony gamer and console owner my entire life. So I've never really been dissatisfied with their products, never been dissatisfied with their customer service. And I'm a huge fan of a lot of Sony exclusive games. It's just the type of, Sony consumer and gamer that I am. And so, but it just seems to me like ever since the launch and the pre-launch of the PS5, Sony has been making a lot of questionable, if not outright unacceptable, decisions in the name of trying to turn a profit rather than product quality and quality of customer service and care. Yes, they're a company, they're a conglomerate. Yes, they operate and sell on a global scale and manufacture on a global scale. I'm not a game developer and I'm not a CEO of a major corporation or conglomerate. I'm sure they have to make a lot of difficult decisions on a daily basis. Okay? In their defense, I'm going to make that statement. But a couple things that I made apparent that I didn't really like about the pre-launch and the launch of the PS5 itself, the way Sony handled their pre-launch and pre-order process was poo-poo garbage. They handled it very poorly. Okay? I know that at the time, COVID and manufacturing issues were rampant for so many companies. Okay? But all those issues aside, instead of focusing on, okay, maybe we should delay the launch of this console, even if we're technically ready, maybe because of COVID and because of manufacturing issues and supply issues, maybe, just maybe, we should delay the launch of the console to not only allow us to overcome these manufacturing and supply obstacles, so that way we have more consoles to be able to go out at launch for more people to pre-order, so that way honest, hardworking people and true diehard console gamers like myself will be able to get their hands on more copies of a console at launch than not, and also allow themselves, Sony themselves, and other major retailers more ample time to bolster their online shopping security to combat against fake bot accounts and scalpers that are still running rampant to this day when it comes to things like highly anticipated high-ticket items like consoles and collector's edition video games and PC parts and all that stuff. But they didn't. All they were really worried about, all they seemed to be concerned about, was competing with Microsoft and the launch of the Xbox One X, or Series X and S. That's all they appeared to care about, and literally they had all but basically announced that the PS5 was in production, and then we went literally like an entire year or two without a single word about the PS5, and then they showed off the console and a host of launch titles in only 2 showcases. Both of them were a few months apart. They literally didn't say a word to their consumer base for years. Okay, they were completely silent, and then they just drop two bombs over 2 showcases, showing off the console. And the final Sony showcase, I believe 2 years ago, was when they officially announced when the console was going to launch. They announced the launch of the PS5 2 months, like just under 2 months before launch. And they unofficially announced that pre-order sales were going to start less than 24 hours after the end of their final showcase that year in 2021, roughly. So instead of allowing themselves more time to ramp up production and pushing back the release date of the console, and instead of allowing people more time to prepare to pre-order, they literally, like, worldwide, their console pre-orders sold out in less than 24 hours, in less than 10 hours, I believe, or something like that. And scalpers literally probably bought up at like a third of their product base, if not more, when it came to the consoles, like the console supply. So not only was it going to be extremely difficult for, honest, hardworking people and gamers to get their hands on a console, but scalpers were also robbing people of that opportunity, and I cannot flipping stand scalpers. They need to get a fucking life and find a more decent, honest way to make a living or turn a profit than robbing people of a good opportunity and then trying to flip something to turn a profit. I don't like that. I don't agree with it. If you're a scalper, you need to change a few things in your life. You need to change the way you operate. Anyway, these are the types of issues that are still kind of carrying on today with a lot of different companies, a lot of different products. And fortunately, I have been very lucky when it comes to my gaming. When it comes to the content, the things that I've been able to purchase, and the foresight that I've been able to keep about me, to jump on an opportunity when I can, and more often than not, I'm able to get what I want or what I need. I was very fortunate to have the foresight to immediately after they announced the launch of the PS5, I immediately went to my local GameStop, like I said in the previous unboxing video, and immediately was the first one inside my local GameStop to put down a deposit on my console. So thankfully, and all the PC parts that I got to upgrade my computer, I was very fortunate. But not a lot of people were. There are still people to this day, like 2 years later, that are still waiting to be a console to be available to pre-order. Or to purchase. And there were 2 features that so many people were surprised that weren't included on the PS5, both the digital and the disc versions of the console. Okay? One, there was not an audio-optical import for people's gaming headsets. And I was surprised at that because I'm a person that likes to play online multiplayer games, the ones that I enjoy, and I want to be able to communicate via chat with the people that I play with. I use my headset. And the PS4 had an audio optical in, and it worked just fine. But for people that don't have like a 4K TV with an audio optical import, they're not going to be able to use their gaming headsets. And I've been noticing a lot because of that, a lot more now recently. Anytime I play multiplayer games online with people, I'm using Discord, voice chat. But I have to use that on my phone because I'm not a PC gamer. So I don't have Discord up on my computer. And if I wanted to figure out how to use that, that's an entirely separate issue. But it's become what gamers have to do as opposed to, now that everything's cross-play and not everyone's in Sony like console voice chat,
my headset's just hanging here collecting dust more often than not. They didn't have an audio optical import on the PS5, and to top it off, I'm surprised at this too, they didn't put at least 1 to 1.5 terabytes of SSD storage on either console. They only put like a third less data storage. You telling me you couldn't put at least 1 terabyte and maybe raise the price of the console by about 20 to 50 bucks? I would have been fine with that. I still would have bought the console. And because the digital version of the console was less money, because they had less hardware, it didn't have to accommodate discs, you still, you wouldn't have had to really raise the price of the digital console either, because it's less hardware, therefore it's less expensive to produce and you have to charge less for it. So those are the two things that I'm still disappointed about, that they didn't include as hardware features on either version of the PS5 console. And people are having to then separately buy SSDs, like 1 to 2 terabyte SSDs that are compatible with the PS5 if they want to upgrade their storage space. Okay, so then you're forcing people to spend even more money for separate hardware just to upgrade their storage space. Not to mention, over the past couple of years, all you've done, Sony, is jack up the prices on your games and your products and your PS Plus subscription prices without really including any more meaningful benefits to combat and compete with Xbox Game Pass. Like the base annual subscription of PlayStation Plus, which is required if you want to play online multiplayer games and use online multiplayer features in chat, you have to be a PS Plus subscriber, and it used to be $60. They upped it to $70, I believe. And then they introduced PS Plus Premium subscription, which is like $100 to $110 some odd dollars a year. Again, without really without a significant increase in benefits, discounts, and offers. Not a whole lot. It's more or less the same as an annual subscription to PS Plus. So those are the kinds of decisions that Sony's been making ever since before, during, and after the launch of their new console. The quality of their products, the decisions that they've made about the quality of their products, and the quality of their customer service has dropped significantly ever since that happened. The reason why I talk about all of this is because, fast forward, we're here. God of War Ragnarok game launches. It's a Sony exclusive game. Okay? So you can't play this game anywhere else until Sony decides to release it on PC or Steam or whatever. So this is a Sony exclusive game, and it's been one of the most highly anticipated games of recent memory over the last 4 or 5 years since 2018 came out. Since God of War 4. Okay, people have been waiting for a sequel to this game for 5 years, about 5 years. Okay, and now you've announced it, it's launching. Okay. So with the God of War Ragnarok Collector's Editions, there were 2 versions. There was the base version, and then there was the Jotnar version. The base version was like $200, only came with so many things, and the Jotnar edition came with literally all the collectibles and the game. The Jotnar edition was $250 MSRP at base, okay? And again, at the time that it was announced and pre-orders went live, I, at the time, couldn't afford to put down a deposit on a collector's edition. But by the time I was ready to put down a pre-order deposit on my copy of the collector's edition, because I bought the collector's edition of 2018, I wanted to get the collector's edition of this, but I was going to pay it off in installments so I could do that affordably. I was forced to wait a little bit longer than I wanted to, and scalpers and literally everyone had bought up all the copies. Damn near all the copies. It was about a month and a half later when pre-orders for the collector's edition went live that I had discovered online that, they had all sold out. The collector's edition was not available at any retailer, not GameStop, not Sony's online store, nothing. And a majority of it, again, was scalpers buying up a majority of these collector's editions and then jacking up the price 2, 3, 4 times the amount, charging anywhere between $400 and $500, $600 for a $250 to a $200 to a $250 collector's edition of a game. Okay, and I realize that's not Sony's fault. And I realize that trying to combat against scalpers is a very difficult thing to do. You could set up more online security to combat fake bot accounts, and you could block all those, but you still can't stop the actual human beings from like buying all of it up, like creating like more accounts, and it's difficult to combat against that. I get that, but still, it's just something that ruins the opportunity for hardcore gamers, hardworking people that are spending their hard-earned money on this, and it leaves a bad taste in the mouth. So the only way that I was able to get a copy of this collector's edition was I had to buy it from a separate company, a collectible, Product Sage Collectibles. They're not sponsoring this video. I'm just shouting them out where I got this from. Had to buy it from Product Sage Collectibles. They understandably had to raise the price a little bit because pre-orders were availability was slim for the collector's edition, so I had to pay almost $150 more. So instead of $250, I had to pay close to $400 over the course of 4 to 5 months to pay off my pre-order of the God of War Ragnarok Jotnar collector's edition. I get that collector's editions are only produced and manufactured and produced in limited quantities because of the exclusivity factor of a collector's edition. I understand that. Okay, that's just a given. But again, Sony, knowing how highly anticipated that this was, and it's a Sony exclusive game, arguably they could have maybe produced a little bit more supply of these collector's editions. I discovered this recently, just a couple of days before my collector's edition actually arrived at my doorstep. I discovered, and I watched a video by Review Tech USA, stating that the people that had gotten their hands, especially content creators and streamers, that had gotten their hands on their collector's editions, this is like a week later after the launch of the game. Today it's Tuesday, November 15th, 2022. The game launched on November 9th, so this is a week later. I found out by watching Review Tech USA's video that apparently people were just now discovering that their God of War Ragnarok collector's editions didn't have a physical copy of the game for some reason. That's weird. Because every collector's edition of a game, and I've only ever bought 3 in my life. This is the third one. The other 2 I've unboxed on this channel. It was Middle-earth Shadow of War and God of War 2018. Both collector's editions of those other 2 games that I bought came with the steelbook display case and a physical copy of the game inside the case. But for some reason with God of War Ragnarok, Sony decided not to include a physical copy of the game, but instead include a digital download voucher code for a digital edition of the game. So that is the only copy of God of War Ragnarok that people were supposed to be getting with their collector's editions. So I'm going to argue both sides of this because I want to give Sony a little bit of benefit of the doubt. I understand that they had to make sure that enough physical copies of the game were available to distribute and sell worldwide for the base version and the deluxe version of the game. I get that. However, the fact that physical copies of the game have been included with collector's editions of games in the past, but now suddenly not this one, it's a little startling. It's a little sudden, and it just doesn't seem to make sense. Okay. Now, but I get it. Manufacturing and issues aside, they want to make sure enough physical copies go out. They can't afford, or they simply don't have enough time or supply to put physical copies of the game with the collector's editions because they're exclusive. I get it, okay? I understand that side of the argument. But it becomes a problem when several people that have gotten their collector's editions, they've arrived at their doors, especially the content creators and the streamers that have been unboxing their collector's editions live for people to see, making videos and stuff on it, they open the boxes and there's no steelbook display case, like there should be for both versions of the collector's edition. But not only is there no steelbook display case, but obviously Sony's going to package the digital voucher codes for the digital versions of the game inside those steelbook display cases. But people have been getting their collector's editions without a steelbook display case, which already doesn't have a physical copy of the game. This is my steelbook display case for God of War Ragnarok that I got with my collector's edition. But you'll notice there's a big empty circle right here where a physical disc should be. But instead, the digital download codes are on the inside cover beneath these tabs. Okay. Shipping and shipping errors, manufacturing errors, if it happens every once in a while, if it's like a rare occurrence, that's understandable. And, good customer service thing to do would be like, okay, we're going to, fix this issue immediately or as soon as we possibly can. Or we'll just email you a digital download code for the game. Okay? That's good customer service. But this is not just a rare occurrence. Several people, probably hundreds of people across this country, across the US, and around the world that have gotten collector's editions of this game are missing their steelbook case and therefore missing the only copy of the game that they're going to get with this collector's edition. So they're missing their case and their only copy of the game. 90% of the reason why people like me have gotten this collector's edition is to play the game, and the other 10% is to have the memorabilia to go along with it. Okay? And Sony's response to this has been, okay, we will address this issue and fix this issue for you within 5 to 7 business days or more. So you're then forcing people that have already been waiting a week for their collector's editions to ship to them. You're forcing them to wait another week or more for you to fix an issue that was your fault to begin with. Multiple people have been experiencing this problem. Thankfully, I haven't, and I feel bad. I feel so unbelievably bad for the people that are experiencing the issue that I'm talking about. There comes a point, there's a fine line between like a rare occurrence of like shipping or manufacturing error and absolute blatant neglect. Okay? And again, in Sony's defense, and you'll see it on screen here when I put up the picture, that it actually says on the collector's edition box sleeve that there is no physical disc included with the collector's edition, but instead a digital download voucher. Okay. What doesn't make sense to me is if you're going to include a digital download code for the only copy of the game that you're putting in this collector's edition, then why have the steelbook case to begin with? Because here's what's happening. You're putting the only copy of the game inside this steelbook case, which means then you're supposed to pack the steelbook case inside each and every single collector's edition of the game. But you haven't done that with several copies of the collector's edition, so you're sending several copies of this collector's edition, a box full of ornate artwork, physical artwork, but no game to go along with it. That is absolutely unacceptable. The days of PS3 and PS4 Sony, as in terms of quality of products and quality of customer service, need to come back. Just because you're a conglomerate and you're making money moves does not mean that you should be sacrificing the quality of your products, does not mean that you should be sacrificing the quality of your customer service or the quality of your manufacturing and production either, despite any obstacles. If you're having trouble with something, then you need to try to figure out how to overcome the issue before you even think about packing anything up and shipping it out and selling it. Okay, this is borderline unacceptable. Thankfully I didn't experience the issue, but it damn near gave me like a heart attack, because my copy of the collector's edition shipped on November 9th from Product Sage on the launch of the game. And 2 days before it got to my door, I see a video that says, "Oh, you might not have the only copy of the game inside your collector's edition." Fuck. Like, that's scary and so upsetting for people that are spending console levels of money to obtain this. At that point, you might as well sell all the collector's items in the box just to have enough money to get a physical copy of the game. The memorabilia is there to accent the game and the experience of the game. So not only are you going to be able to create meaningful memories playing a game that you've been looking forward to, but then you're going to have the physical, real-world memorabilia. You look at that stuff on your shelf and you're going to be like, yeah, man, good times. I'm so glad I have that really cool thing to look at and, kind of play around with, maybe, and just look at it and be reminded of like, yeah, that's really cool. Instead of having to look at that and go, I had to jump through even more hoops to get the game, when I should have just sold that stuff to get a physical copy of the game. You're tainting people's experiences with this product. You're therefore tainting people's experience with the game. You're tainting people's experience spending that kind of money to obtain that memorabilia. Well, it's like, why did I spend that money if they didn't even give me the copy of the game that I paid for? All the memorabilia aside. You see what I'm getting at here? This is a huge issue that needs to be addressed and fixed and damn near never happen again. Like, Sony needs to correct a lot of these unnecessary mistakes and decisions that they've been making. So those are my thoughts and opinions on this matter. Again, I'm sorry to the people that have experienced this problem with, their PS5 consoles and with the God of War Ragnarok Collector's Editions. I'm sorry that you've experienced those issues. I'm sorry to the people that still can't get their hands on this console. I'm sorry to the people that can't get their hands on a Collector's Edition of God of War Ragnarok. And I'm sorry that, a lot of us Sony gamers that are still playing on Sony consoles are having to experience this drop in product quality and quality of customer service and care. So, I've said my piece. Those are my thoughts and opinions on this matter. I was happy to do the unboxing of this and make a video on it. I'm glad that I'm able to have my copy of the game and the memorabilia to go along with it. It's really cool. I got Mjolnir sitting on top of my giant Baby Yoda Funko in my room. It's so cool. So Reaper and I can't wait to start making videos and uploading our Let's Play of God of War Ragnarok as soon as we possibly can. I know we've taken about another year off from uploading to the channel, but this is going to kind of revitalize that a little bit in some capacity. We're going to, put out as many videos as we can when we can. So it's not going to be as consistent as it was in the past, but we're going to be bringing God of War Ragnarok videos to you very, very soon, within the next week. Okay, definitely. So I'm super excited to play the game. I'm super excited to make great memories again with yet another Let's Play. and have fun with it and bring, our brand of really dumb, idiotic humor. Is just going to be a lot of fun. I'm super looking forward to it. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you like this video, leave a like. Leave your comments down below what you think about some of these issues with Sony and their products, what you think about God of War Ragnarok. Just leave some of your comments down below, what your experiences have been with some of this stuff. If you like the content on this channel, be sure to subscribe, definitely, and click that bell icon to enable all notifications so you don't miss any videos. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. My fiance Reaper and I, we really just do this for fun. So, because we like making the memories, we like making the content. So, and for the people that enjoy the content, I'm glad. We're glad. So, thanks so much for watching. As always, stay classy, and we will see you all out there in the next video.